Mr. President, this is Alex Jones filing this emergency intelligence report to you, your staff, and the public. I know that you're fully aware of most of the facets I'm about to break down, but I'd like to codify them for you and put them in some perspective. First off, as you know, 2 months before the federal election, which you won in a landslide in November of last year, I came out and said that they are planning to federalize the elections via Homeland Security to be able to hack into the computer systems and steal the election from you. Now, I did not reveal my sources at the time, and I'm not going to reveal them now, but obviously you've probably got some of the same sources. You came out and basically broke down the fact they were planning to try to rig the election and steal it because you'd witnessed what they'd done previously, stealing the nomination from Bernie Sanders and trying to steal it from you, only because you fought and rallied the American people valiantly were we able to secure your nomination, which you again won by a landslide. They began to say that was illegitimate. Right up through the election, they were preparing to go after your electors. They were preparing for recounts. All of those blew up in Hillary and Soros's face. You got more votes with the recounts, and she had more electors go away from her than you did. You had 2, she had 5. I'm only giving background here so that your staff, I know you understand what's happening, but so your crew, who may not have their mind in the full battle space, understands the full magnitude, Mr. President. Now let me break down the latest serious threats. They have clearly been preparing to federalize. They tried to federalize. They tried to hack into 5 state computer systems like West Virginia and Georgia. They got caught. That's been in the news. According to Bev Harris, who is, by the way, a liberal Democrat, but a top election fraud expert, HBO documentary, Hacking Democracy, 5 states, evidence showed, were stolen. They tried to steal 5 or 6 others, but Hillary did steal 5 from you. So past behavior is the most important indicator of future behavior, as you know, sir, as the CEO. They've been trying to steal this from the beginning. They failed to steal it because your tsunami win was so big. They are now moving forward, and they officially federalized 2 weeks ago. Now, if they're leaving office, why does that really matter? Well, it's still unconstitutional. But see, if they try to declare a civil emergency or a national emergency, activate groups around the country rioting, which they're preparing to do, and they create a bunch of hysteria, they could, with some plausible cover, at least to some people, even though it's unconstitutional, claim that there was a suspension or a postponement of the election results until a new election could be held or investigations could take place, while they further demonized you and rolled forward with their hoaxes and disinformation. When they, 2 weeks ago, or I guess 11 days ago to be technical, came out with Homeland Security and federalized the elections publicly outside of congressional power, just by executive fiat from Obama, that was the big telltale sign that they're seriously considering trying to overturn this election or postpone it, and then have the new election under their full control, which of course will be fraudulent. There's precedent for this in other countries. This is what they're publicly pushing for. Now you see Rosie O'Donnell, who of course is a failure and a joke, but she's on the inside with the Democrats coming out and saying she wants martial law and the election postponed or suspended. CNN's been putting out the talking point of a national or civil emergency to do the same thing. And now we see the doddering Congressman John Lewis coming out and saying you are not legitimate, and the Russians did give you this victory with no evidence but their fake dossiers and PP-gate. Now, we can all say, well, they're discredited, it's not going to carry them over. Yes, the public's woken up to them, Mr. President, but they're still in executive control and might try some type of martial law scenario. We now see the general over the riot troops for your inauguration in 6 days being removed from command on the day of the event. In his words, the middle of a battle. It is very, very suspicious. While Soros and others have spent tens of millions to bus in, upwards of 100,000 people who are openly saying they want to shut down whitehouse.gov, physically encircle the White House, not let you enter it, and shut down the parade route and basically riot in an act of revolution against our Democratic Republic in the election. So that's my basic boil down. There's a lot of other facets. Obviously, it's a perfect storm to come after you because the pile of garbage MSM is falling apart. The dinosaur media knows they have basically no viewers, no credibility. So why shouldn't they work with criminal elements of the rogue deep state and rogue elements of the CIA to come out against you and try to do this and try to block you? Even if they're unable to block you, which I'd say it's about an 80% chance they'll be unable to, this discrediting is in preparation for impeachment proceedings that they admit in the New York Times are planning to launch soon after you're in. So my message is this. I first predicted this, I first laid this out, and I have the sources. I've been proven correct. I know you have your own sources as well, sir. You must go on the offensive now and come out about the Office of Personnel Management hack that was 14 to 20 million names, true dossiers, spies, the entire system rolled up by the communist Chinese. The biggest hack in history, the biggest failure. A lot of experts believe it was on purpose, and Obama compromising us as part of his larger sabotage plan. I would come out in a press conference and I would say, they're the ones distracting from what they did. I know you've tweeted it, but sir, we need you at the pulpit, bringing this up to everybody at the lectern to dominate these enemies, foreign and domestic. I would also, in that same press conference, lay out the articles where the Saudi Arabians bragged and the Communist Chinese bragged in their own newspapers. You can have blow-ups of it like they do in Congress and show where they bragged. One headline, Saudi royalty brags they gave 20% of Hillary's war chest. You can show all these and say, foreign powers openly gave her money. The entire media ganged up on me and the American people. The whole power structure, and still they failed. And then they claimed the Russians that had the GDP of Italy supposedly did this because in their report, some radio network called RT and a TV network called RT with barely any coverage in the U.S. was critical of Hillary. Some big deal. They are accusing me and the American people of what they themselves have been doing. My election is part of a global awakening to globalism and people wanting nationalism. This is Americanism, not globalism. And the forces trying to block me from getting into office are the true outsiders. They are the true espionage experts. They have done everything they've accused me of publicly. And I ask the American people to understand that this is an attack on you and our system of government by people that are illegitimate, like this congressman and others, because they are illegitimate. You could finish with this. 900 House seats in the states, won. Record number of House seats in the Congress, the Senate, record number of governors. Was all of that the Russians? No. All of that was Hillary and the horrible campaign and the corruption and the fact that people are sick of the establishment and the fact that the establishment would run Hillary and run Jeb Bush again showed their disconnect. So no matter what you do, and then you can put this message out to them, no matter what you do, old establishment, you're going out the door. So good luck trying to stop me and the American people. Mr. President, they're planning a stand down in D.C. in 6 days. They are a pile of garbage. They're escalating the frauds and hoaxes. They're pushing for martial law. They've already federalized elections, as I said they would do. You've been proven right as well. Please take action. To your staff that thinks they can cozy up, and not all of them, but some of them can cozy up to MSM and play nice, as I've told your crew and as I've told many others, they're never going to stop coming after you or the American people until we put them in their place, sir. I'm Alex Jones for Infowars.com, issuing this emergency message to President-elect Trump and to the rest of the American people and the world. This is an incredibly historic and epic time to be alive, and I thank God, sir, for your leadership and your courage and your instincts. We are truly blessed. Thank you very much for your time, sir. This is the heart of 1776.
You're a white male!
It's also what happens when you listen to the radio host, Alex Jones.
Move, bitch! Get out the way!
We pledge allegiance to one flag, and that flag is the American flag.
InfoWars helped fuel the rumor that President Obama is an ISIS supporter.
It's been a cozy relationship from the beginning.
I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed, I hope. And I think we'll be speaking a lot.
Donald Trump and Alex Jones.
This means that Donald Trump will be the 45th president of the United States.
Waging war on corruption. It's
Alex Jones.
Mr. President, this is Alex Jones filing this emergency intelligence report to you, your staff, and the public. I know that you're fully aware of most of the facets I'm about to break down, but I'd like to codify them for you and put them in some perspective. First off, as you know, 2 months before the federal election, which you won in a landslide in November of last year, I came out and said that they are planning to federalize the elections via Homeland Security to be able to hack into the computer systems and steal the election from you. Now, I did not reveal my sources at the time, and I'm not going to reveal them now, but obviously you've probably got some of the same sources. You came out and basically broke down the fact they were planning to try to rig the election and steal it because you'd witnessed what they'd done previously, stealing the nomination from Bernie Sanders and trying to steal it from you, only because you fought and rallied the American people valiantly were we able to secure your nomination, which you again won by a landslide. They began to say that was illegitimate. right up through the election, they were preparing to go after your electors. They were preparing for recounts. All of those blew up in Hillary and Soros's face. You got more votes with the recount.